Hi, I'm Slawek with iDrinkCoffee.com. Today I'll be presenting the Miele CM6 model number 6360 Milk Perfection. Miele is a brand that you may recognize or may have heard of, and that's because they've been manufacturing high-end appliances in Germany for quite some time now. Miele appliances are made in Germany, however their countertop coffee machines like these two in front of me are actually made in Switzerland. But they speak German there too, so I think they're going to be pretty good. The Miele CM6 is a really feature-packed, super automatic espresso machine. And what that means is that it's beans to cup. We just press a button, the machine will grind, tamp, dose, do everything for us, brewing a great cup of coffee. To demonstrate the CM6, I'm going to make a whole bunch of different drinks. I'm going to make milk-based drinks, espresso. I'll even brew a cup of tea. So in front of me I have two models of the 6360. The one on the left is the black obsidian and clean steel. The one on the right is a new model. It's called Lotus White. There's also a third version, which is the black obsidian. So the sides and the front is exactly the same, but this back part here they call bronze pearl. The only difference between the machines, of course, the color and aesthetics. Functionally, they're exactly the same. The water tank on the machine is here on the left, very easy to access. You pull it out and it comes out sideways. So if you have it underneath a cabinet, it's actually quite easy to get in and out. That's a 1.8 liter water tank, so that's a decent amount of water. The grind cover is right here, and the grinder fits about 300 grams of coffee. And what I like about this machine as opposed to some other designs is that the top of the machine is flat, so the grinder doesn't stick out at all. So again, it fits under cabinets quite easily. Also at the top we have the bypass doser, and what that is if you want to use a different blend of coffee, like a flavored coffee or possibly a decaf, you want to bypass what's inside the grinder, you can put pre-ground coffee in there and then also use that to brew your espresso or cappuccino or what have you. And the last thing that I'll show you on the top of the machine is the cup warming surface. That's that surface here at the front. Now this can be turned on or off. I do have it on. It is warm. It's not going to burn your hand. It is warm to the touch, and you can put your cups on there to heat them up prior to brewing to give you a better result. The machine does use more energy, of course, when the cup warming surface is on. At the front of the machine, we have the adjustable spout, so this can move up and down in order to accommodate different cup sizes. At the highest position is quite a bit of clearance. You can put a decent sized travel mug there, which I really like. Really good clearance for larger cups, or if you're brewing a smaller amount of coffee like an espresso, you bring that all the way down and you can brew your espresso. On the left-hand side here, we have the hot water spout, and that's used to dispense water for things like Americanos, but also the Miele CM6 has an automatic tea function, which I'll show you when I'm making drinks. To the right of the coffee spout, we also have the milk connection. The Miele CM6 comes with a glass milk container, which is really cool. I prefer glass to plastic personally. It's easier to clean, and it just connects using these two tubes to the right-hand side of the spout. Just behind the coffee spot, I'm going to lift it up, we have the drip tray and the dreg drawer. So you pull that out and you'll have your spent coffee inside here. There'll be the pucks and of course water. This has to be cleaned every now and again. The machine will tell you once it's full though. So now to demonstrate this machine, and I'm going to continue discussing its features, I'm going to make some drinks. And the first drink that I'm going to make is an espresso. So I have my espresso cup right here. I just place it underneath. And again, I'm going to adjust the spout to the lowest position. And the espresso button's the first one here on the top left. I just press that. The machine will begin to grind the coffee, and it also does a pre-brewing cycle, so it will pre-infuse the coffee before beginning to brew. This is the pre-brewing cycle. You can adjust the settings. So I'm using the default settings on this machine the way it came from the factory. But you can set the pre-brewing. For espresso, it's set to long mode, but you can adjust that if you like, or even turn it off if you don't want it. And then the machine will dispense the coffee, and that is basically it. I have my shot of espresso at the touch of a button, all very quickly and easily. And I'm going to give this a taste. Yeah, it's quite nice. Actually, the temperature is good, and the taste is very pleasant. The next drink that I'm going to make is going to be a milk-based drink, a cappuccino. So I've added some milk into my container here. I'm going to pull the spout up a little higher, and use this cup here. Now, this is a fairly large cup, so I want to point out a feature that the Miele has, which I think is actually really cool, and that's this double bean feature right here. And you press that button when you want a stronger coffee. So what it's going to do, it's going to grind twice as much coffee, but use the same amount of water, so you get a more robust flavor. So let's give that a try. Press the cappuccino button. You're going to see a preheating note. That means the machine is changing the temperature so it can froth the milk. I have this machine currently in what's called barista mode, but there's 4 different performance modes on the Miele. The first one is eco mode, and that's essentially to save energy. So the machine only heats up once you begin making a drink. The second mode, barista mode, is optimized for brewing coffee. So the machine stays at coffee brewing temperature. The third mode is the latte mode. So it's again optimized if you prefer milk-based drinks. It's optimized for lattes, leaves that temperature ready to do the milk first. And the last mode, and everyone's favorite, is party mode. And that's for occasionally when you have company, if you want to make many coffees at once. It doesn't ask you to rinse in between. So it basically turns off the rinsing cycles so you can keep producing coffee. It's meant to be used occasionally. So the machine has now brewed the first half of my espresso. And since I have that double button pressed, it's going to grind one more time and then finish the shot so we get a stronger espresso with the milk. And there we have our cappuccino. Now, I want to point out that I use the default settings, and of course this is a larger cup, so it's not full. So the next drink that I'm going to make, I'm going to adjust it, show you how you can adjust the settings so that I can get a full cup of coffee. That last drink I made, it wasn't a full cup, and I'd like a full cup, so I wanted to give me a little bit more milk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the setting on the cappuccino button to match my cup. And the way I do that, I press this button here to go into the menu, and then go down to parameters. Those are the drink parameters. I'll press OK there. And here you have all of the different drinks listed: espresso, coffee, long coffee, cappuccino, latte macchiato, cafe latte, and then you have milk froth, hot milk, and then the tea options. You can program each one of these to whatever you like. I'm going to be changing the cappuccino setting right now. I go into this menu and I have the portion size. And the way we adjust the portion size is very, very simple. I place my cup down and I just press OK. And the machine is going to begin the entire process. And once I have the amounts I like, I'll save them. So the first thing that it does is the milk froth. And it gives me an arrow where it was before. I like my cappuccinos to be frothy, so I'm going to do mainly milk froth for this particular setting. I'm going to save that right there. And now it's going to add the coffee. And once again, as soon as you determine that you've had enough coffee, you press the save button. And I'm going to stop it right there. See, and now the portion size saved for cappuccino, and you can see that's much better, a much better presentation. I've got a full cup of cappuccino here that's ready to enjoy. It tastes good, and actually the temperature is quite high. I do enjoy that, and quite lovely. So the last drink we did, we reprogrammed the size of the drink, and that's saved under the cappuccino button. But there's another way of using this machine, and that's expert mode. And I'm going to show you how to use that now. To turn expert mode on, we press the menu button and we scroll down to settings, and then we scroll down to expert mode and turn that on. So the machine is now in expert mode. Okay. What this mode allows us to do is to change our drink parameters on the fly. So I'm going to use this much smaller cup than the previous extraction, and I'm going to change the settings on the fly to match what I want at that time. And I'm going to be using the latte macchiato button. And before I press that, I just want to tell you the difference between the macchiato and the cappuccino. The cappuccino just has milk foam, whereas the macchiato gives us a chance to have just steamed milk, which is going to be a flatter milk, and then milk foam after that. So there's two different types, and you set the parameter for each. And then, of course, you have the coffee, and I'm going to be changing all of those settings on the fly. So I press the button, you're going to see preheating. That's the machine raising the temperature from brewing temperature to steaming temperature, because we're going to have milk. And as soon as I start getting milk, I'm going to change the setting of the, I'm going to change the volume of the milk. And you do that by pressing the up and down arrows. So I changed my hot milk. It was preset to a very small amount, but I changed it to a different amount, and I'm going to lower the amount of milk froth. I stopped it there. Got to do it quite quick because this is a small cup. And now it's going to add the espresso. And again, if you want a little bit more espresso, you just press the up button, and it's going to give us a little bit more if you want less. Expert mode allows you to make those changes right on the fly. I'm going to lower that because I think we're going to overflow. But there you have it. You have a latte macchiato, which I was able to adjust the parameters. Now this is nice if you enjoy different types of drinks, but if you just have a usual, a coffee the usual way, I recommend not using expert mode. Just leave it in the regular mode, program it to your cups, and then you don't have to worry about anything. You press a button and you get your coffee. So now that we made a few milk-based drinks, what we should actually do is clean the water pipes. And the way we do that, we go into the menu and maintenance, and then you have rinse the milk pipework, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to press OK there. The machine tells us to place the valve in the drip tray, and the way we do that is we remove it from the milk container and just put it into this port here. Just kind of snaps in there, and we press the OK button. And now the machine just does a rinsing cycle, so clean all the milk out of those two pipes. With milk, it's very important to keep things clean because, of course, it can go bad and give us a bad flavor. The rinsing cycle is finished, and what I can do here is I can take this milk container, since it's glass, and just put it in the fridge. I really prefer glass containers to thermal ones for that very reason, because a thermos keeps, of course, the milk inside cold, but it also keeps cold out. So you can't actually put a thermos into the fridge because the temperature inside the thermos is going to remain the same. That's the whole idea of it. So this we just put in the fridge, or if we want to make more drinks, we just attach it once again, and the machine is ready to produce more drinks. So now I've shown you 3 milk-based drinks and of course a shot of espresso, but this machine has so many features. I'd like to brew another round of espressos, but this time I want to do 2 espressos at once. And Miele has the option, you press this button right here for your double, and it can double up any drink. So I press the double, then my espresso button, and the machine will begin grinding, and it will extract my coffee. It will extract half the shot, and then it will do a second cycle and do your second shot. So you get 2 espressos. This makes it very convenient if you're enjoying a drink with a friend or a loved one. Now, if you want to make it even more powerful, a really cool option, again, that Miele has that I haven't seen in other super automatic machines, is if I press both the double bean and the double shot button, I'll actually have 4 separate brewing cycles. That can be used, of course, if you want to have 2 strong drinks, or you can use it to make 1 super strong drink. If you like that, that real kick, or if you're using like a larger container, like a travel mug or something like that, it's a great option to brew a lot of coffee, or a strong dose of coffee for an Americano or something like that. There we have 2 shots of espresso made at the touch of 2 buttons. Another really cool feature that the Miele CM6 has is the Wi-Fi connectivity, and it connects to Miele's app. And I'm going to show you how to use that right now and make another drink. So I've pressed the mobile start button, and you have to press that in order for it to connect to the app. And then I'll show you here the app. So this is the app right here, and I already have this machine paired with my app, and it's actually quite easy to do. There's step-by-step instructions. You just scan a QR code. It's quite simple. I press the button or I just click on the coffee machine icon here. And here we have the couple of different options. You have drinks, beans up here, status. The status is kind of cool because it tells you when to degrease the brew unit, when to descale. This machine's quite new, so it says over 50 cups. I don't have to do it right now, but it will tell you when it's time to do that. And then in the drinks menu, we have all the same options as we do on the machine. And I'm just going to scroll over to the right because the drink that I'm going to be making now is going to be a tea. And I'm going to do a green tea. I'm going to place it under the hot water spout right here. And I'm just going to press my green tea button on the app. And you'll hear the machine give a warning. And that's just if there's anyone around the machine, so they're not surprised. The machine starts brewing. And it begins dispensing the water for the tea. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to raise this. The machine's still in expert mode, so I'm actually going to raise the amount of water because it's not going to be enough for this particular cup. So I'm going to take that a little bit higher, but this can all be programmed as well. The difference is when you're brewing the different types of teas is the water temperature. So you have options for the black tea, green tea, Japanese tea, fruit tea, and I believe white tea is there as well. So there's a lot of different options, and you would set your brew temperature for individual teas. Generally speaking, black teas are brewed at higher temperatures than green teas. And now you'll see this is done. And what will happen now is the machine goes to the tea timer, and I can set the brewing time. For a green tea, I'm actually going to set it lower. 2 minutes is too much. I'm going to set it to 1.5 minutes, press OK, and I get a countdown for my steeping time, which is a really cool feature. And once that's done, I'll pull out that tea bag, and I'll be able to enjoy my cup of green tea, of Skinny Buddha. The machine gives a chime now that the timer's over. My tea is ready to enjoy. Another really cool feature of the CM6 is the ability to make a pot of coffee. And the way we do that, we go into the menu and the additional drinks option, where we have the additional drinks that are available to us. And the very last option is the coffee pot. And I'm just going to press OK there. And here I have an option to do 3, 4, 5, or 6 cups. To demonstrate it, I'm just going to do the 3-cup option. I'm going to press OK. And of course, the machine tells me to fill the water container and the bean container, which I've done. And here I'm using the Miele coffee pot. Now, this is an optional accessory. It is not included with the machine, but it can be purchased, and it's designed for this exact reason. It's a thermal coffee pot as well, so it works really well. I press OK, and then the machine will begin to make me a pot of coffee. The way it does it is through 3 grinding cycles. This is the first grinding cycle. It will extract the first coffee, then it'll do the second, and then the third. And of course, if I did 4, 5, or 6 cups, it would grind and dispense that many times as well. So now it's doing the second cycle, grinding and dispensing again. And now, of course, the third cycle. All right, my pot of coffee is done. Now I want to mention that you can use another pot. You don't have to have the Miele one, although this is designed for those types of spouts. It has that opening, and then we have the sliding door that we can close so it keeps the warmth in. This is a thermal pot, so it should last a little while, keep that coffee nice and hot. I'll just pour myself a cup. And you can see we've got a nice coffee that's ready to enjoy. It's nice and hot as well. On the right-hand side of the machine, there's a door that opens up, and back here we have the brew unit. That's what makes all the magic happen. That's what brews the coffee. This is removable, and you can remove this and wash it every once in a while. Just clean off any stray grinds. It also has to be greased every once in a while. That's explained in the instructions. And the grind adjustment is also here. So in order to adjust the grind, if you want to make it a little finer, to slow down your extraction, make the coffee a little stronger, you can do that, or go a little bit coarser. That's on the right-hand side of the machine. Very easy to access. We've made so many drinks in this video, and I'm holding a cup of tea in my hand, and I believe this is the first time in a video that I am holding a tea during my conclusion, and I think that's really cool because I like tea. The CM6 is such a feature-packed machine. You can make all kinds of great drinks in the comfort of your home. Espresso-based drinks, milk-based drinks like cafe lattes, macchiatos, all sorts of great stuff. And it has that amazing tea function, which I think is probably one of the most advanced tea functions I've seen in a super automatic espresso machine. If you have any questions about the Miele CM6360 or any one of our products, please feel free to reach out to idrinkcoffee.com. We're here to help. Also, please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this about coffee machines, espresso machines, coffee grinders, everything to do with coffee and with tea. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.